Hello, and welcome to another installation of Adventure Man Dan, still working at the boatyard. But it's alright, we moved on to a few other projects, we're getting some stuff done, and we're gonna go over everything. So let's hop right into it. First off, where did my toilet go? So my toilet was a Jabsco pump, and they work pretty well, they're very simple. This one was getting pretty old, I'd had it for 3 years, I'd put extensive use on it, and a repair kit for it I think is around $80 or $90, and a brand new one is I think like $120. So I bought another toilet because it's so easy to install these things. I'm already changing out the hoses and a bunch of other stuff, so I figured so long as I'm in here. That's kind of going to be a theme for today's video, and my life lately is so long as I'm here I might as well do this and that and this and that, and that's fine. That's what I'm going through. So let's take a look. Alright, here you can clearly see my toilet is missing. I only changed out one of my through holes. This one's brand new. I'm going to be, right now the 5200 is drawing on it, so I'll get into that a little bit later. Going to be doing some different things in here. A lot of things going on, basically. Another major factor is that this will need to be changed out. This is the macerator pump. You work this thing and it ejects the waste out through there. That will need to be replaced, so I'll be doing that so long as I'm in here. As you can see, it's pretty gross in here, but that's what it takes. A few other things to kind of give you an idea of what I'm going to be doing. If I look down and back in here, it looks pretty gross. Because it is pretty gross. So I plan on taking the whole stove out and cleaning everything behind it. It's just kind of one of many things. So long as I'm here, might as well do all these tough projects. All right, let's see what other projects we've got going on just on the top side today. Ooh. Everything's still pretty messy. This past today, my friend and mentor Jay Safro is no longer with us. He's sailing off towards the Bahamas. Anyway, so one of my last days with him, I decided, on his advice, to repaint the top side of my boat as well, repaint the deck. So all of this will be repainted, which is nice because there's a lot of little cracks like this one that I'd love to take care of. So things like this, I'm now just gonna start repairing over, and it's translated into a few other things. Mainly if I come up front here towards the bow, you'll see I no longer have a door here. And you can see some goopy, but very, very hard epoxy throughout here. That's because I'm gonna be working on this. As well, the gypsy's gone from my windlass. Let's take a look at what that is. So I've yet to ever fall off my boat. But if I fell off here, it would hurt a lot more than the water. Thankfully I have this handy dandy little ladder conveniently provided by Riverside, so I can work on it. Anyway, the door to my anchor locker had a significant crack going down it, so I've started filling and repairing that. This is my first time working with glass like this, so I'm sure there's plenty of people feverishly ready to type away, "You're not doing it right." And you're right, I'm not. But I don't care because it's gonna be solid. Really solid. Anyway, so I'll be sanding pretty much all of this, and you can see little spots here where I've just taken the grinder to, and I'll take it to this as well. And I'm just gonna go over everything, hit it, fill back in any little spot, and then paint over it. This is actually really fun to work on because it's not attached to my boat. I can take it away and I can just work on it. I like these kind of projects. This is the most fun I've had in a couple months. So let's keep moving. I have not finished sanding the boat. In fact, I've actually started, like you've seen on several other projects. So yeah, not a whole lot to report there. What I think I would like to do is the deck of my boat first, just in case there's any bleed or rundown, then do my top side, then do my bottom. Top side sounds pretty straightforward. The deck sounds pretty straightforward to paint the top, you know, where I actually walk the deck of my boat. The top side, for some of you that don't know, is this part. It's above the water line. It's called the top side. I'll be painting this myself as well. It sounds like it's about $2,000 to have a professional spray paint it, not including like the paint and stuff. And I've come to the epiphany, the wild epiphany, that I don't care if my boat looks perfect. You know, the guy's explaining to me how he's like, yeah, you know, when you're at the dock and your friends come over and they look at the hull and they're like, oh man, that thing's messed up. Well, I don't live at a dock normally. I'm normally out in the ocean, so it's kind of the theme I'm going to be going with here is not a perfect boat, a boat instead that is functional and it works and it looks nice from a distance. That's what I'm going over. I made friends this past week with Joshua, a marine carpenter, very cool guy, and he is going over with me how to make what's known as a boss. So it'll be a flat piece of wood that we'll be seeing as flat from this side, but on the back side we'll have this curve to it that'll match this. That is what my swim platform will be attached to. Let's see what else. In other news, I've taken apart my anchor chain. You can see it here. As well as this used to go to my snubber. This will all be going, as well as my old toilet right there, will all be going to other sailors in need. Starting up a charity, Sailors in Need. I'll be getting new 5/16 chain. The gentleman at the industrial hardware store was kind enough to remind me what kind of 5/16, because apparently there's a difference. Well, I figured I would one-up him, and I'm gonna bring my gypsy. And if the chain don't fit, I'm not buying it. It's that simple. So I'll be getting whole new chain for the boat. The 5/16 I've got is very rusty, so it'll be good to get rid of that. What else? It's been a lot. I've kind of opened up a few new projects because I want to get through everything. And it feels kind of good actually to be changing things up. I want to make sure I'm completing them as well, but right now my focus is just keeping momentum going. I definitely lost some momentum while I was just sanding endlessly. I've been able to kiteboard a little bit, especially yesterday, and that felt outstanding. I probably won't do any work tomorrow because there's a northerly coming in and I'm going to be kiteboarding on that. Pretty excited. All right, so that concludes this week's video. Like I said, I'm starting up a whole bunch of extra projects and hopefully be able to keep that momentum moving. I just want to let you guys know though, this is just part of my weekly update. I'm actually doing a second video this week. It'll be more of an in-depth and exclusive look at what I'm doing, conditions at the boatyard, how I get things done, materials, all that kind of fun stuff. So if you guys are interested in that, check out my Patreon account. I'll have a link in the description below. As well, I want to give a quick shout out and thank you to Alexander Taylor, Justin Holland, Evan Skeeve, Justin Davidson, and newest addition, Todd Howman. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. I really appreciate it. It helps me, it motivates me, especially to get that video out every single week. I love it. Yeah, that does it for me here. I'll see you guys next week.